Ricky, you do a lot of coaching. I used to coach quite a bit. I don't anymore. I don't actually want to coach. So I find people that do want to coach. And if someone comes and says, well, can you coach me about this? I'll say, no, go see that person. and, and I think that's one aspect of when you talk about being a digital nomad and you talk about income, there's a million ways that you can do it. So you really need to spend some time thinking about what do I want to do? And I had 35 clients. I met them twice a month and for 2 years. And at the end of the 2 years, I said, that's enough of that. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I know people that start coaching businesses and they love it. Ricky's one of them. And it's great. And I'm happy that they do because that's someone that I can say to anyone that comes to me and say, I need help. Great, go see Ricky. Great, go see Mark. Go see these people, and that's wonderful. And I know that that's not what I want to do. So when we're going through these lists, you may say, no, I don't want to do social media marketing or something. Great, that's wonderful. Make sure you know some people that love doing it because there will be people asking you about it depending on, like if you're a web designer, you'll have people asking you about social media marketing. So get a referral agreement together with some people and say, here's two people that I really think do a great job. Go see them. And then it's kind of like affiliate marketing. But in this particular lecture, we want to talk about group coaching and masterminding. So what, in your opinion, well, first of all, I guess group coaching, Ricky, is when you have more than one person, which is great. But what's the distinction between group coaching and masterminds?
Great question, Scott. Firstly, there's private one-on-one coaching, which we already covered in one of the previous segments. The group coaching, which is, like you said, more than one person. So I look at it as between 2 to 5 to 6 people. And you're actually the coach, training, mentoring, guiding, facilitating their knowledge and their actions. So typically a small group coaching can be in the form of a training or a program. So you could do like a 1 month program, a 6 week program, or like a 3 month program, 12 weeks. So that's typically what I would recommend if you're wanting to be a small group coach. You can do it on things like Skype, Google Hangout. You can do it on Zoom, and there's a whole bunch of other platforms. But those are, I would say, my picks of choice. I really like Google Hangouts, actually. We actually record a lot of podcast interviews, and the small group coaching we do it on Google Hangouts. The reason being is that you can actually stream it and also record it and keep it private. And then it just gets saved on your YouTube channel. You don't have to worry about any post-production, editing, etc. Boom, push record, push end, and then send them the link so they can review the material. Or if they missed it, for example, they were busy, they missed a small group session, they can listen after. So now, in terms of masterminding, which is one of my big passions, I actually used to run a Vancouver mastermind back in Vancouver, BC, Canada, where I'm from, in person. I ran the mastermind for about a year and a few months, and that was every week. We would meet at the Waves coffee shop on Hastings Street every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. without fail, with the exception of Christmas and New Year's. We took a December off. But really, over the course of the year, we met diligently and pretty much without fail every Tuesday at the same place, same time. And it was the same group of people, and we really became intimate colleagues and friends. And I look at a mastermind as very different than coaching. As a mastermind leader, so I have been both in a mastermind and I'm leading one. And currently I'm actually in one with other parentpreneurs. So they're basically all dads and they're entrepreneurs. And these guys are basically helping each other take their business to the next level. A lot of them are making like 6 figures. So I'm not yet, by the way, just a full disclosure there. But I'm learning from these other 6-figure earners how to become a 6-figure earner or more beyond, because some of them are making like well into the 7 figures through their businesses. So I'm very much a rookie there in terms of the other people who are much more established than me. I've been in the business for about 5 years. These guys have been there 15, 20, 30 years. So my own mastermind that I run is to do with being a digital nomad. So I have currently 4 people in the mastermind, And I look at it as 5 to 6 people is a good number, including me as the facilitator. I'm actually looking for a couple more people, and it's very good to have the same people. Like I mentioned, the one in Vancouver, we had the same people for literally a year plus, because then you get to really know the intimate struggles, both on a business level, but also on the other levels. The mental struggles, the emotional struggles, the spiritual struggles, the struggles with their diet, their sleeping, their working out, the struggles with their spouses or partners or loneliness, their struggles with staying positive, their struggles with just like maybe the spiritual questions about why am I here? What is my purpose? The bigger life questions that we need to answer. So I look at the mastermind as very holistic. It is not only about business. There are definitely business masterminds, by the way, and business coaching, and there's life coaching, travel coaching, etc. So there's different categories. My trainings, both in life coaching, in private coaching, in small group coaching, and mastermind coaching, are very holistic. Even though they're focused on digital nomadism, we're very holistic in the sense that every other aspect of your life will affect your digital nomad business as well. So we run it every Wednesday evening currently at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, so that the time zones work for both me and in the Eastern time zone and the other members who are mostly in the Pacific time zone. And we just pick a time, pick an avenue by which to do it through Google Hangouts, and we pick a topic area. And then every week we have a hot seat session. So we rotate them, so each member gets at least one hot seat per month. And hot seat is basically when you're on the front lines and you're pretty much naked, not literally, but metaphorically naked, and people can ask you anything and everything to do with how much money you're making, what was your sales this week, what was your actual profit based on as opposed to revenue, how is that relationship with your wife going, how is the time with the kids. How was the time in the gym? So people ask those hard questions that most of us don't want to answer. And that's the beauty of the mastermind. People allow each other to ask those hard questions, which will help us really grow, Scott.
And so there's a distinction between a group coaching project and a mastermind project. It sounds to me like with the group coaching, you're taking a little bit more of a leadership role and you've got specific things that you want to either teach or get them to do. With the mastermind, it sounds like you're more facilitating the discussion between the different members and and as opposed to as a coach, you said this in the last lecture, that you hold them accountable, whereas in the mastermind, it sounds like everybody holds everybody accountable.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way of distinguishing them. I look at myself as a leader when I'm coaching, and the people are my clients, and I'm the one who's kind of leading the way in terms of their growth. And I set the agenda in terms of the actual sessions. Mastermind is a little bit more organic. I look at it as actually a mastermind. So the word mastermind itself defines what we're doing. Just kind of a little quick history lesson. The term mastermind was coined by Napoleon Hill and Dale Carnegie, who were in a mastermind together. And Napoleon Hill is the author of Think and Grow Rich. And he talks about this in his book. And also you can watch videos of him talking about the mastermind. He looks at it as a small group of people with like minds. When they get together, they create a super mind. And the supermind is the collective intelligence of all the people in the room or on the Google Hangout in the case of a non-physical location, a digital room, if you will. So they get together and you create the supermind in the room, in the digital room, on Google Hangout. And the supermind is the mind that helps all of us. So it's a little bit, esoteric, if you want to call it that. But there's really a collective intelligence. I think that is a term people may understand a little bit better. And the collective intelligence of our successes, our failures, our life experiences will help all of us grow, because there might be someone on the verge of a divorce. There might be someone struggling with the toddler tantrums. There might be someone struggling with a teenager who just doesn't listen. But there'll be other people in the mastermind who can relate. Oh, I already have adult kids. I know all about those years as a teenager. So there might be someone who's just starting their business, but there might be someone who's done their business for 20 years. So we can all help each other in the mastermind. So I'm a big advocate of the mastermind. And I really think it's important to get as many of those growth vehicles as possible. So get yourself a coach, get yourself in some small group coaching, get yourself a mastermind, and get yourself an accountability partner. And they're all different. They're all different. We even talked about mentors. Get a mentor as well, because you need growth in many different areas. None of us are perfect at everything. I don't know about you, Scott, but I certainly am not. There is no perfect person on this planet. Even Obama or Oprah Winfrey or Brad Pitt. I mean, Brad Pitt just had a divorce with Angelina, right? So there's no perfect person on this planet. Obama, he just grew a lot of gray hairs over the last 8 years of being president. So we all need help, growth, support. So even like these figures I'm talking about, they have so many mentors, advisors, coaches, consultants, and that's why they're in a position of great power, because they have all of this influence. Because they are influential, therefore they need influencers to help them be better influencers.
Good. So hopefully you understand group coaching and masterminds and how you could use that in your coaching to expand your coaching business if coaching was an area that you wanted to explore as a digital nomad. We want to tie all this back to the idea that, and I think, Ricky, you said it in many, many times, was you use Google Hangouts, you use the technology. No longer do we have to have this done face to face. And it's great to do these things face to face. Like if after a year, everyone in the mastermind or the group coaching is doing really well, it's great. Let's do a celebration. Let's go to Tahiti for a week. And they all go down and you have a week in Tahiti, and that's your celebration. And it's also something that's a result of the mastermind. But we don't need to be face to face, which gives us this great opportunity as digital nomads in doing the group coaching and in doing the masterminds.
And I just want to touch on affordability as well. I didn't really touch on the cost benefits. So obviously, if you hire a coach yourself, that's going to be the highest cost. Small group coaching will be the low cost, and masterminding is probably the lowest cost if you were a client wanting those things. Now, as a coach who's actually doing those services for other people, your biggest ticket item will be your own private coaching, because that's your personal time that someone's gaining. Then probably small group coaching, and then masterminding. It depends on how you actually structure your business model and the actual prices for each. I don't mind, getting real about finances too, but I typically charge 100 plus, 100 US plus for a session of coaching. And I don't like saying an hour coaching. I call it a session because some sessions, they might take 2 hours. Some sessions might take 90 minutes. Some might take an hour. Some might only take 30 to 45 minutes. And I don't usually charge per hour or per session. I typically charge for the month or for the program. For the mastermind, you got to set your rates there, but I'm currently doing it at a very low rate to make it affordable for the people who can't afford my private coaching but still want to work with me. So my mastermind group, I'm only charging $10 US per session per week. So for each person participating in the mastermind, they're only paying me 40 US. But because I have 4 people, that's adds up for me. It's only 160 US, which is very affordable for them, and it's a little bit of a side income for me, which makes it worth my time. I don't want to work for anything less than at least 100 an hour. I might do it, obviously for charity, or if I really like the person, I might do it at a lower rate. But I gotta value my own time. Because obviously I have to prioritize my wife, my kids. I need to be the provider, protector. So it's important, by the way, to really figure out your worth as an individual, but also as a business owner. Most people, they charge too little because they don't value themselves, their knowledge, their experience, their expertise enough. And the more you charge, people will value that higher. Plus, they have skin in the game. If they paid you 500 US per month or 1,000 US per month for your coaching, they're going to work their bums off because they want to achieve results, because they know they're paying at least 500 plus a month for you. So they're like, I'm paying this guy, I want to see results. So they're going to be highly, highly motivated. If they're only paying you like $50, $20 a session, how motivated are they going to be? I mean, we spend that on a meal, right? A meal out is going to cost us like $20, movies and popcorn, etc. So the higher you charge, obviously the more money you make, but also the clients will actually value, and they'll be motivated to get results more as well.